Welcome to EV Time. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the Highway Driving Assist 2 system in the Kia EV6, which is similar to the Ioniq 5 Ultimate configuration. So let's get started with this beautiful EV6 GT Line 2, and I'm going to show you exactly what the system for Highway Driving Assist 2 needs to in order to be able to function properly. So we'll start at the front of the car. You have some side sonar sensors that need to be enabled at all times, and this is what the system does automatically. So we're going to continue with the ones that are in the front bumper, which will serve for the parking and for the actual changing of the lanes in the eventuality that you want to change lanes on the highway. Then we have four of them in the bumper. We have a camera in the front, which serves as a detection system for the objects in the front, as well as the radar that's right here at the bottom of the bumper. The cool thing about this one, just as a side note, is that in the wintertime, this is a heated sensor, which means that it's going to be less often that you're going to have to clean it out from the snow and everything like that. Let's go on to the side. We have another side sensor here, obviously for the left side of the car. And then we're going to continue to the cameras that are under the mirror right here. You have one on each side. This serve also for the parking assist system, but on the highway, they help detecting the lanes and the oncoming traffic when you need to change lanes automatically. Going towards the back, we have another side sensor here. There's one on each side, obviously, and then you have the regular the regular parking sensors. Something interesting, this sensor over here is actually going to help also when you're in the car and you stop the car and you want to get out of the car. If you put your hand on the actual handle to pull it out to open the door, if there is an incoming car from the back side, it will actually warn you and it will actually go as far as to lock the door so you can't open it and get into an accident. Let's move over. So we have four parking sensor spots on the bumper, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They also go in conjunction with the camera that's in the back of the car. And like I said, you have another sensor on this side which helps with the lane assist and the detection of oncoming traffic when you open the doors. Okay, we're about to go on the first drive. I'm gonna try to do this in one shot because it's fairly complicated to do. As you can see, I have cameras mounted on the dashboard to show you the head-up display and the AR system. I also have the 360 camera mounted right next to me. It's attached to the sunroof of the car so we can see which way things are going. I'm gonna try to concentrate on the driving. I'm not using the GPS map. I put in a destination already in the computer, but I'm not using the actual display from here. I'm just gonna try to rely only on the AR. So let's see how it actually lets me navigate properly. One of the things that you can do with the HDA 2 system, so the Highway Driving Assist 2 system in this model, is that you have a couple of buttons here on the steering wheel that allow you to do quite a few things. So number one, I'm gonna press the lane centering button, which actually works at any speed. So I'm gonna press it, and as you can see in the dashboard, I have a center lane and I can actually let go of the steering wheel and it's supposed to steer on its own. By all means, I want to say this from the beginning, whatever you see me doing does not mean that you guys can go blindly and do it the same way. You have to play with it, you have to understand how the car thinks, you have to do trial and error, and by any means, I can't even stress it enough, this is not a replacement for your driver input.
You have to actually do your own tests. I'm just showing you what is possible and what works and how it works. Now going back to the center lane assist, as you can see, sometimes it is a little bit tricky, even though the lanes are marked very well. It has the tendency to lean on one side or the other. I find that the faster you go, the better it gets, meaning that it's more and more precise. At low speeds, it is a bit of a hit and miss. Like, I can feel right now that the steering wheel is being pulled, but as you can see, the little steering wheel on the display, it became white instead of green, which means that the system is actually disabled. It is monitoring to see when it can be enabled, but as of right now, because you see the icon is white, it is disabled. Now you can see there's a little arrow showing up on the head-up display saying that, soon I'm gonna have to turn slightly left. And this usually overlays onto the actual street as soon as the camera can pick up where the turning street is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's really like out in the boonies, so it shows up like in a random place on the head-up display. But generally speaking, it's pretty good. See, like right now it's supposed to figure out that it's left. It just picked it up right now and it's showing the arrow to the left. So as I said, the cool thing about this is that you can use the steering assist, so the lane centering, even at low speeds, and it actually does a pretty good job. As you can see right now, like I'm actually letting it go, and I know on this road it does a pretty good job. All I'm doing is I'm controlling the throttle from my right foot and letting it do its thing. Now you could do cruise control. So if I press the cruise and I'm gonna say I want to go to, I want to go to 66 kilometers an hour, and then press OK. Okay, let's see. Let's try this again. For some reason it doesn't want to do cruise control. Okay, let's see if it does the steering on its own. Yeah, as you can see, it actually steers. It takes this curve nicely without any problems. There is a little bit of an adjustment, but it's not really a problem. And it seems like it has longer intervals between asking you to actually put your hands on your steering wheel. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so as soon as I let go of the acceleration, the cruise control goes on. If you look in the dash, there is a little dot in front of the icon of the car on the top. That means that it's not detecting. It's like it's put into to detect the cars in front of you and keep like the shortest distance possible. So right now, because there's nothing in front of us, it's just not gonna show anything else. But you're gonna see that as soon as there's other cars, it will self-adjust, and you will be able to see the other cars going by around the car exactly like the computer sees it in the car, which is it's fairly nice, I gotta say, because I did notice there are some issues when you go on the highway and you have like a big truck or something like that. The system gets confused a little bit. It even happened to me once that the system disengaged completely because I was in the slow-moving traffic and there was a 53-foot trailer next to me, and it just decided that it can't understand what that car is. Okay, you see now it's asking me to put my hands on the steering wheel. I'm gonna not do it just to show you guys what happens if you don't do anything. Right now it's taking a curve. It doesn't yell at me that I'm not putting the hands on. Now it started doing it on a straight line. So I'm gonna put my hands on, and I have to press the brakes also because I have to do a stop sign. the little arrow showing up on the front there saying that I have to turn left eventually. And now I have the flashing arrows. One other thing that you can do with this HDA 2 system is that you can set a maximum speed that you can go to and never go over it. I'm going to show you in a second what that means. So I'm going to do the stop sign, and once this is done, I will press and hold the cruise control, and now it's set up to 30 kilometers an hour, and no matter how much I try to push the car, it will never go past 30. Now if I actually floor it to the ground for a couple of seconds, it goes over, and now it starts yelling at me saying that I went over the speed limit of 30. I'm gonna disengage it. You can set this to pretty much any other speed that you want. It's just that if you're below 30 kilometers an hour, it will go by default to 30. You can set it to 50, 100, whatever you want to do it. I don't necessarily see the point of this feature because it's like, like it's a little bit weird. Like, why would you want to limit the maximum speed that you want to go at? But anyways, it is there. If you guys want to try it out, go ahead. Like I said, I don't see necessarily the point of it. Maybe in a school zone, so you make sure that you don't go over the speed limit. But besides that, like, it's it's a feature. I don't necessarily need it though. Okay, so now we're getting close to doing a little bit of highway driving, which I'm actually not gonna do right now. I'm gonna try to avoid it a little bit. We'll do a little bit more street driving, just to see what the GPS says, like how it reacts when I don't do what it tells me to do. So now I'm supposed to go on the highway. Okay, I still have the center lane active. Okay, so I can feel the steering wheel being pulled to the left, to the right. If I let go of it, it will want to go right in the middle of the lane, which is great. Okay. For some reason, the steering assist for the center lane is active, but the lane keep assist is not. As you can see, there's a white icon on the actual dashboard saying that like it's not active, but it can still keep the center of this lane. I find that a little bit weird, but it works. So you have to make sure that you check all the sensors, all the things before you let go of the steering wheel. I gotta say, compared to the previous car that I owned, which was a 2020 Kia EV, this assist, like all the sensors and the way they work and the cameras and all that stuff, they're a massive improvement. Like it's actually, I'm tempted to say it's even night and day. So it's much more intuitive. It works much better. It's more fluent. It's not very intrusive. It gives you a lot of warnings before they really did a really good job with it. Okay, so now it wants me to go left on the highway again. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go a different way. As you can see, it's leaning right now, and it's going right and right and right, and it just was gonna go to the sidewalk, and there's no warning that the system has been deactivated. So even though it worked for a while, as soon as the lane became a little bit wider, it just deactivated. But this time around, it did not warn me. So that's why I'm saying, like, you have to play with the system. You have to understand where the limitations are, and understand it before you can rely on it like heavily. On the head-up display, you can see on the top right, it says the speed limit in the area where you're driving. You're gonna notice also that as soon as you go over the speed limit, the speed itself, like the number that shows the speed, is gonna turn red to let you know that you went over the speed limit. It's a nice touch. I would have rather had the speed limit be a little bit more important for the car. Like, I know in some markets where you have the speed limit, by long pressing the cruise control, it will actually set up the speed limit that is in that area automatically, so you can't go past that speed, which that's a great idea, but here in Canada, and I guess in North America, that's not being enforced. Like, it will show you the speed limit in the area, but it, like, long pressing the cruise control doesn't set it to that speed limit. So, it would have been a nice touch. I would definitely find more reasoning to use the long press on the cruise, but this is what we have. So, okay, as you can see, the lane centering is already on, even at this low speed. You do see on the head-up display and in the dashboard, you can see the cars behind you with that little red triangle, which is pretty cool. Okay. As you can see, I'm doing 53 kilometers an hour in a 50 zone, and the marking on the sign just went to red. It's funny how it feels that the steering wheel is being pulled as soon as you're not in the center of the lane. So yeah, now I feel it pulling towards the left. I'm not sure exactly why, because the markings are there. I'm gonna set up the cruise control again, and I'm gonna go to, I know I'm getting on the highway right now, so I'm just gonna set it up to 70 for now, and I'll increase it after. As you can see, now you have all the information about the cars in front, and I'm not doing anything with the pedals. Like, I'm not touching anything. Hopefully you can see that. And as soon as we get to I think it's above 60 kilometers an hour, it's gonna start looking and showing you how it detects the cars around you, so you can have a better idea about what the system actually understands. Let's see, now it's supposed to start slowing down. I'm not doing anything. The problem is, as soon as I put my signal on, you can see that it's acting a little bit weird. Like, it doesn't understand. Like, the system disengages, but it turns off, but it's only partially. It's not always off. You're gonna notice also that there is a new indicator on the dash right now. It shows the steering wheel. It shows the two arrows on the highway and the lane keep assist. This is because the HDA system, the second version of it, which is in this car, allows you to do lane changes also, which is pretty neat. I'm gonna show it to you in a couple of seconds. about to get on the highway. I'm gonna engage, like I'm gonna say resume to the cruise control as soon as we're up this ramp. Okay, and the limit is 100. I'm gonna set it up to be 100. Changing lanes. Okay, letting go of the acceleration. I'm putting it at 110 and I'm letting it go. As you can see now, it shows the steering wheel, the lane change option is green, and the lane centering is activated, as well as lane keeping assist. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put on the signal. There's nobody on the left side, but it wants me to keep the hands on the steering wheel, and then it starts doing it on its own. I can let go of the hands. Okay, now it wants me to put the hands back on, which is a little bit annoying, but it's understandable. So as you can see, it does it very well. It's not a problem. Sometimes what you can do is you can just put your hand at the bottom of the steering wheel, and that's good enough for it to do the lane changing. It doesn't go over the speed limit, as you can see, and now you're gonna see like it starts seeing the cars around, and as we pass them by, and that's pretty impressive. Obviously, because it's smart cruise control, it will self-adjust for braking, and if somebody jumps in front of you on your lane. Now it's doing a slight left turn. No input needed at all. Like, it's not asking me to put my hands on the steering wheel yet. I do find it that after a couple of maneuvers, like a couple of left and rights and so on, it will ask you to put your hands on the steering wheel regardless, which is, I find that pretty normal. But I'm gonna show you what you can do to kind of like be a little bit more relaxed and not actually have to keep both your hands on the steering wheel. But like I said, this is only me. Like, you guys do whatever you feel confident with. I'm gonna go back to changing the lanes, putting the signal on. I'm gonna touch it, and it goes on its own. And to confirm again, okay, it sees the bus in front, it stops down. Now it goes back to the regular speed. As you can see, there's a white line underneath the car in front, so you can kind of have an idea about what the system understands. See, somebody's pulling in front of us. Now there's a blue line saying that the system actually sees the car. As soon as they walk away, the line disappears. You're gonna notice also that when you're stuck in traffic, if there is a car in front of you, then you're gonna see that if the line is underneath the car in front of you is blue, the system understands it. If it's white, it sees it, but it doesn't make any difference in terms of what the system will do to avoid it or anything like that. It just shows you that it detects the object in front of you, but it does not have an influence towards what the computer is doing. Okay, now we're slowing down. Okay, now I'm gonna put on the signal. There's a car coming. Okay, it's showing me that that's happening. There's another car coming. Let's see what it does. Okay, it disengages because there was a curve and there was a car coming. I'm gonna put the signal again. Okay, we're good. Okay. What is it gonna do here? It's turning left. Yeah, okay, it is. This is a little bit of a weird situation because it's slightly uphill and a left turn, and there's different objects on the road. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but it does ask me to put on the hands on the steering wheel. Okay, we're gonna go on the reserved lane. Nope, I don't want to do it this time around because the lane centering is not activated. Okay. Okay. So far so good. We got all 3 green lights. That's good. Obviously, this system is very good when you have to change lanes, but it will not understand exiting a highway or anything like that. You have to do your due diligence. I find also that when it's asking you to put your hands on the wheel, the faster you go, the more input you have to put when you grab the steering wheel. Like normally, if you're just cruising around and let's say like 50 kilometers an hour, you can just touch the steering wheel and it's fine. But see, like me, I'm going 110. It's asking me to actually grab the steering wheel with both hands. Okay, it's gonna slow down to see how it detects the moving cars around us. It will only detect cars that are 1 lane apart, like not the whole highway or anything like that. It's just the lanes right next to you on the left or on the right. And it does a very good job of kind of like keeping track of how the cars are advancing, like moving forward, going backwards, like you're approaching them, or making a little bit of a buffer between you guys. It does a very good job, so you can have a better understanding about the radar and what it sees and how far ahead it actually sees the objects. Okay, now I have to eventually merge back into the regular lanes, like get off the reserved lanes. Problem is, I'm approaching some cars and it doesn't know how to slow down to be able to merge back into traffic. Like, I'm gonna show you what I mean. So I'm gonna put my signal on because the lane is finishing. But you see, like it just doesn't go out the lane and brake. I have to do a steering input because otherwise, you know, we keep going and going and going. Okay, I'm gonna resume. Again, you see that little blue light under the car in front, and as we are approaching the car, the light adjusts. You can see that it's slowing down. I'm not doing absolutely anything. It can even come to a complete stop. And whereas in the older models, you had to actually tell it to like press the acceleration to get moving, and had to deal with the disengagement of the cruise control. In this one, the cruise control stays on. All you have to do is basically just like the car will move itself. Sometimes it will give you like a warning, like if you've been sitting for more than 35 seconds, if I recall, it will ask you to actually press the resume button or press the acceleration a little bit, but the system stays on. Whereas in the regular highway driving assist systems, it will disengage in 5 seconds after you came to a complete stop. was weaving quite a lot around trucks. You have to be very careful about that, like I said before. As you saw this time around, like it was going left, right, and while it was going right, it was about to hit the truck. So don't trust it fully. You have to do your due diligence. See, like now I have another truck on my right. It should be okay because it's a slightly smaller truck, but I have to be ready to intervene. Like I don't trust it to that level. It is good, but it's not perfect. As you've seen from this lengthy video, the system is actually very good. It's not perfect, so please exercise a lot of caution when using it, especially the first few times, and always be ready to intervene. If you guys like the video, please let me know in the comments below, or send me a couple of suggestions so I can do some more clips for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you very much.